So I was listening to Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. We all know who Willie D is. And he was giving more details about the Shanquella Robinson case. And he mentioned that she paid for the entire trip. So she paid for everybody to go to Cabo. I'm not quite sure what those tickets were looking like, but she paid for the villa. I've heard from multiple sources. I'm just stuttering, trying to talk quick. I heard from multiple sources that she paid for the villa. So I wanted to hop on because, again, we all, not all of us, but I'm Shanquella Robinson. I've paid for friends because essentially, and I'm not speaking ill of the dead, essentially that's what she was doing. I can understand having one friend who ain't got it, but you got 6 people that you're going on a trip with who don't have it. 5 of them people wouldn't have been going. I understand, you pay for your one friend who has expenses and ain't got it like you. I get it. But paying for 6 people, if this is true, paying for 6 people, that is a telltale sign that they wasn't going unless she was paying. And I'm not speaking ill of the situation because I did the same thing in my 20s. If I wanted to turn up for my birthday and I wanted the VIP and the limousine and all that stuff, my friends, I won't air quote because they were friends, my friends weren't paying it. They were like, I'll go if you pay for it. I'll take advantage of an opportunity that I'm not willing to pay for myself for you. And that's what it boils down to is, yes, some people ain't got it, but there's also people who only pay for what they want. And they didn't want to go on that trip with Shanquella. And you can tell because if you look in the video where she's looking for everybody, everybody's in a room and she's off looking for them. So they're all grouped together in their little cliques within the clique. And Shanquella's on the outside. First, we talked about paying for friendship. If you got to pay for everybody to play, it's because they don't want to play with you. Secondly, the fact that everybody's clicked together and Shanquella has to go and find them, that alludes to, and again, this is just one circumstance, but it just makes me think that she was on the outskirts. She was a friend, but she wasn't inside the friend group. And I was that person too. I was the person who, if you watch my previous Shanquella Robinson, I am Shanquella Robinson video, you will know that I was able to hang out with the popular kids, but I wasn't one of the popular kids. I was able to hang out on the outskirts. And now that I'm an adult and I can look back, I could see how dangerous that was for me. Because whenever there was someone to shit on, I was the person that got shitted on. Whenever there was someone to blame, I was the person to blame because I was the person on the outside. So, okay, I had to change settings. Anyway, yes, I was the friend that was on the outskirts, and I wasn't really a part of the friend group. I just was in the friend group. So you have to pay attention to those things. Sometimes we feel lucky, we feel blessed. We're like, oh my gosh, I get to hang out with the cool kids even though I'm not really cool. Pay attention to that though, because even though you're hanging out with the quote unquote cool kids, like once we're adults, we realize the cool kids aren't really that cool, but that's another topic. Even though you're able to hang out with the cool kids, they're only allowing you to hang around because they can shit on you. You are the chosen person who's cool enough to be around us, but we're still gonna fuck with you. Happened to me, so I recognize it when I see it. And I get it. Shanquella had it. I mean, she had the money. I too, when I was 14, I was in a situation where, and I've talked about this before, so I could disclose it now. When I was 14, I sold drugs because that was where I was. In order for me to survive, I had to provide for myself. And because I was in a drug environment, I sold drugs. I mean, I couldn't go get a job at 14, so there it is. Save your judgment for your mammy. So I was getting money. At 14, I was making $200-300 a day. And I mean, what exactly is a 14-year-old supposed to do with that amount of money? So I was just pissing money, and not literally pissing money, but you understand the figure of speech. I was just wasting money, going and getting my nails done, getting on the bus, breaking them off, hopping off, going into another nail salon. I was just stupid with it. Also, I had a friend who was a really popular kid. And I just felt lucky enough to be able to hang out with her. I was like, you know, nobody else likes me, but this popular kid likes me and she lets me hang out with her. I felt so special and blessed. Once I started getting money, I mean, I could only spend so much money on myself, and I'm a giver. My love language is gift giving. So I immediately started giving to her. So anything she needed, anything she wanted, I was buying it. Back then we had the pagers. She would page me and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. You know, she was really the bestie then. I took better care of that little girl than her mama took care of her at that time. Something that switched in our dynamic. Sorry, I've been painting. I'm an artist. Something switched in our dynamic that she went from being my friend to using me. And I saw it happen. Even at 14, I saw it happen. I knew she wasn't shit, but she was my only friend. And so I maintained that relationship even though I knew it wasn't a genuine relationship. So we have to pay attention to those things. To maintain relationships we know that don't serve us, to hang around people we know that don't like us or are using us or are benefiting from us, we have to sever those relationships. You should sooner be alone than be around people who don't genuinely like you, because we see what can happen. And that tragic event that happened to me when, in my previous I Am Shanquella video, my friend, my best friend at the time, never came to see about me. And I get it, we're 14, how you gonna come see me? She called me once, but she more so joined the group of people who, you know, were attacking me. I literally had to leave the state because they said, because I contacted a detective and a detective was asking all these questions, they were like, it's on site. As soon as they see me, it's on site. So it really, my family felt it really wasn't a safe environment for me to be in, and that's how I ended up in Arizona. But she kind of joined in with those people, you know, and became my enemy, so to speak. You know, she really wasn't a supportive friend. She wasn't the one person who was like, you ain't gonna talk about my friend. No, she was right there with them talking about me. And so you have to pay attention to those friends you gotta pay to play. You have to do certain things in order to be around me. And the friendship may not start out that way, but if you guys start on even playing grounds, and eventually as you start progressing, one starts leaving one behind, that jealousy starts kicking in, that BS starts kicking in, and in this generation, they're quick to physically attack each other. So you have to be careful of that, because you may start out on the same level and you may start out in a genuine friendship, but as you start getting it and they're not, that's when that jealousy kicks in. And when somebody is broke, jealous, bitter, all the above, they'll do some crazy stuff. And then you group them people with another group of weak-minded individuals, and they're gonna do some weak-minded BS. And because you're on the outskirts, because you are the pay-to-play friend, because out of the 6, 7 people here, you are the least liked, when they do that fuck shit, they're gonna do it to you. So just pay attention to that stuff. Again, I am by no means attacking Shanquella. I have been Shanquella. Only by the grace of God, I am here still. They tried to take me out multiple times. Her death will be in vain if we don't learn from it.